Section 19, Letters 91 to 95. Letter the 91st. The Vicomte de Valmont to the Présidente de Tourvel.
In consternation at your letter, madame, I am still ignorant as to how I can reply to it. Doubtless, if I needs must choose between your unhappiness and my own, it is for me to sacrifice myself, and I do not hesitate. But such important interests deserve, so it seems to me, to be, before all, investigated and discussed. And how can that be contrived, if we are to speak and see each other no more? What, whilst the sweetest of sentiments unite us, shall an empty fear suffice to separate us, perhaps beyond return? In vain shall tender friendship and ardent love reclaim their rights. Their voice shall not be heard. And why? What then is this pressing danger which besets you? Believe me, such fears, so lightly conceived, are already, it seems to me, potent enough reasons for security. Permit me to tell you that I find here traces of the unfavourable impressions that have been given you about me. One does not tremble before the man one esteems. One does not, above all, drive away him whom one has judged worthy of a certain friendship. It is the dangerous man whom one dreads and shuns. Who, however, was ever more respectful and submissive than myself? Already, you may observe, I am circumspect in my language. I no longer permit myself those names so sweet, so dear to my heart, which it never ceases to give you in secret. It is no longer the faithful and unhappy lover receiving the counsels and the consolations of a tender and sensitive friend. It is the accused before his judge, the slave before his master. Doubtless these new titles impose new duties. I pledge myself to fulfil them all. Listen to me, and if you condemn me, I obey the verdict and I go. I promise more. Do you prefer the tyranny which judges without a hearing? Do you feel you possess the courage to be unjust? Command, and I will still obey. But this judgment or this command, let me hear it from your own lips. And why, you will ask me in your turn. If you put this question, how little you know of love and of my heart. Is it nothing, then, to see you once again? Nay, when you shall have brought despair into my soul, perhaps one consoling glance will prevent me from succumbing to it. In short, if I must needs renounce the love and the friendship for which alone I exist, at least you shall see your work, and your pity will abide with me. Even if I do not merit this slight favour, I am prepared, methinks, to pay dearly for the hope of obtaining it. What? You are going to drive me from you. You consent, then, to our becoming strangers to one another. What am I saying? You desire it, and although you assure me that absence will not alter your sentiments, you do but urge my departure in order to work more easily at their destruction. You speak already of replacing them by gratitude. Thus the sentiment which an unknown would obtain from you for the most trivial service or even your enemy for ceasing to injure you. This is what you offer to me. And you wish my heart to be satisfied with this. Interrogate your own. If your friends came one day to talk to you of their gratitude, would you not say to them with indignation, "Depart from me, you are ingrates"? I come to a stop, and beseech your indulgence. Pardon the expression of a grief to which you have given birth. It will not detract from my complete submission. But I conjure you in my turn, in the name of those sweet sentiments which you yourself invoke, do not refuse to hear me, and in pity at least for the mortal distress in which you have plunged me, do not defer the moment long. Adieu, madame. At the Château de 27th September 17.
Letter the 92nd. The Chevalier d'Ancenis to the Vicomte de Valmont.
Oh, my friend, your letter has made my blood run cold for fright. Cécile! God, is it possible? Cécile no longer loves me? Yes, I see this direful truth through the veil in which your friendship covers it. You wish to prepare me for the receipt of this mortal blow. I thank you for your pains, but can one impose on love? It is ever in advance of all that interests it. It does not hear of its fate, it divines it. I have no more doubt of mine. Speak to me without concealment. You may do so, and I beg this of you. Inform me of everything. What gave rise to your suspicions? What has confirmed them? The least details are precious. Endeavour above all to recall her words. One word in place of another can change a whole sentence. The same word often bears two meanings. You may have been deceived. Alas, I seek to beguile myself still. What did she say to you? Does she make me any reproach? At least, does she not defend herself for her faults? I might have foreseen this change from the difficulties which she raises lately about everything. Love is not acquainted with so many obstacles. What course ought I to adopt? What do you counsel me? If I attempted to see her, is that utterly impossible? Absence is so cruel, so dismal, and she has rejected a means of seeing me. You do not tell me what it was. If there was in truth too much danger, she knows well that I am unwilling for her to run too much risk. But I also know your prudence, so to my misfortune I cannot but believe in it. What am I to do now? How write to her? If I let her see my suspicions, they will, perhaps, grieve her, and, if they are unjust, could she pardon me for having distressed her? To hide them from her is to deceive her, and I know not how to dissimulate with her. Oh, if she could only know what I suffer, my pain would move her. I know her sensibility, she has an excellent heart, and I have 1,000 proofs of her love. Too much timidity, some embarrassment, she is so young, and her mother treats her with such severity. I will write to her, I will restrain myself, I will only beg her to leave herself entirely in your hands. Even if she should still refuse, she can at least not take offence at my prayer, and perhaps she will consent. To you, my friend, to you I make 1,000 excuses, both for her and for myself. I assure you that she feels the value of your efforts, that she is grateful for them. It is timidity, not distrust. Be indulgent, it is the finest quality in friendship. Yours is very precious to me, and I know not how to acknowledge all that you do for me. Adieu, I will write at once. I feel all my fears return. Who would have told me that it should ever cost me an effort to write to her? Alas, only yesterday it was my sweetest pleasure. Adieu, my friend. Continue your cares for me, and pity me mightily. Paris, 27th of September, in 17...
Letter the 93rd. The Chevalier d'Ancenis to Cécile Volanges, enclosed in the preceding.
I cannot conceal from you how grieved I have been to hear from Valmont of the scant confidence you continue to place in him. You are not ignorant that he is my friend, that he is the only person who can bring us together once more. I had thought that these titles would be sufficient with you. I see with pain that I made a mistake. May I hope at least you will inform me of your motives? Will you again find fresh difficulties which will prevent you? I cannot, however, without your help, penetrate the mystery of this conduct. I dare not suspect your love. Doubtless you too would not venture to betray mine. Ah, Cécile! Is it true, then, that you have rejected a means of seeing me? A simple, convenient, and sure means?
Note: Danceny is ignorant of what this means was. He merely repeats Valmont's expression.
And is it thus that you love me? An absence so short has indeed changed your sentiments. But why deceive me? Why tell me that you love me always, that you love me more? Your mamma, in destroying your love, has she also destroyed your sincerity? If she has at least left you some pity, you will not learn without sorrow the fearful tortures which you cause me. I should suffer less were I to die. Tell me then, is your heart closed to me beyond recall? Have you utterly forgotten me? Thanks to your refusals, I know not either when you will hear my complaints, nor when you will reply to them. Valmont's friendship had assured our correspondence, but you have not wished it. You found it irksome. You preferred it to be infrequent. No, I shall believe no more in love, in good faith. Nay, whom can I believe, if my Cécile has deceived me? Answer me, then. Is it true that you no longer love me? No, that is not possible. You are under an illusion. You belie your heart. A passing fear, a moment of discouragement, which love has soon caused to vanish. Is it not true, my Cécile? Ah, doubtless, and I was wrong to accuse you. How happy I should be to be proved wrong! How I should love to make you tender excuses, to repair this moment of injustice with an eternity of love! Cécile, Cécile, have pity on me. Consent to see me. Employ for that every means. Look upon the effects of absence, fears, suspicions, perhaps even coldness. A single look, a single word, and we shall be happy. But what? Can I still talk of happiness? Perhaps it is lost to me, lost forever. Tortured by fear, cruelly buffeted between unjust suspicions and the most cruel truth, I cannot stay in any one thought. I only maintain existence to love you and to suffer. Ah, Cécile, you alone have the right to make it dear to me, and I expect, from the first word that you will utter, the return of happiness, or the certainty of an eternal despair. Paris, 27th of September, in 17...
Letter the 94th. Cécile Volanges to the Chevalier d'Ancenis.
I can gather nothing from your letter, except the pain it causes me. What has Monsieur de Valmont written to you, then, and what can have led you to believe that I no longer loved you? That would be, perhaps, far happier for me, for I should certainly be less tormented, and it is very hard, when I love you as I do, to find that you always believe that I am wrong, and that, instead of consoling me, it is from you always that I receive the hurts which give me most pain. You believe I am deceiving you, and am telling you what is not the truth. It is a pretty notion you have of me. But if I were as deceitful as you reproach me with being, what interest should I have? Assuredly, if I loved you no longer, I should only have to say so, and everybody would praise me. But unhappily it is stronger than I, and it must needs be for some one who feels no obligation to me for it at all. What have I done, pray, to make you so vexed? I did not dare to take a key because I was afraid that mamma would perceive it, and that it would cause me more trouble, and you too on my account, and again because it seems to me a bad action. But it was only Monsieur de Valmont who had spoken to me of it. I could not know whether you wished it or no, since you knew nothing about it. Now I know that you desire it. Do I refuse to take this key? I will take it tomorrow, and then we shall see what more you will have to say. It is very well for Monsieur de Valmont to be your friend. I think I love you at least as well as he can. And yet it is always he who is right, and I am always wrong. I assure you I am very angry. That is quite the same to you, because you know that I am quickly appeased. But now that I shall have the key, I shall be able to see you when I want to, and I assure you that I shall not want to when you act like this. I would rather have the grief that comes from myself than that it came from you. You see what you are ready to cause. If you liked me, how we would love each other, and at least we should only know the troubles that are caused us by others. I assure you that if I were mistress, you would never have any complaint to make against me. But if you do not believe me, we shall always be very unhappy, and it will not be my fault. I hope we shall soon be able to meet, and that then we shall have no further occasion to fret as at present. If I had been able to foresee this, I would have taken the key at once, but truly I thought I was doing right. Do not be angry with me, then, I beg you. Do not be sad any more, and love me always as well as I love you. Then I shall be quite happy. Adieu, my dear love. At the Château de 28th of September 17.
Letter the 95th. Cécile Volanges to the Vicomte de Valmont.
I beg you, monsieur, to be so kind as to return me the key which you gave me to put in the place of the other. Since everybody wishes it, I must needs consent also. I do not know why you wrote to Monsieur Danceny that I no longer loved him. I do not believe I have ever given you reason to think so, and it has caused him a great deal of pain, and me too. I am quite aware that you are his friend, and that is not a reason for vexing him, nor me either. You would give me great pleasure by telling him to the contrary the next time you write to him, and that you are sure of it, for it is in you that he has the most confidence. And for me, when I have said a thing and am not believed, I do not know what to do. As for the key, you can be quite easy. I well remember all that you recommended me in your letter. However, if you still like it and would like to give it me at the same time, I promise I will pay great attention to it. If it could be tomorrow, as we go to dinner, I would give you the other key the day after tomorrow, at breakfast, and you could give it back to me in the same manner as the first. I should be very pleased if it does not take long, because there will be less time for the danger of mamma's seeing it. Again, when once you have that key, you will be very kind to make use of it to take my letters also, and in that way Monsieur Danceny will more often receive news of me. It is true that it will be much more convenient than it is at present, but at first it frightened me too much. I beg you to excuse me, and I hope you will none the less continue to be as obliging as in the past. I shall always be very grateful to you. I have the honour to be, monsieur, your most humble and obedient servant. At the Château de 28th of September 17.
End of section 19.